Hello there. I don't know about you, but I'm getting a bit tired of the pettiness in the build-up to this year's election campaign. Both sides of the aisle have, over the last couple of weeks, had to deal with what feels like really petty molehills being turned into mountains. And don't get me wrong, Michael Wood and his shares thing, that's an issue. But it's not a big issue. It's $13,000 worth of Auckland Airport shares that he screwed up the paperwork on slightly and now he has to sell them. At the same time, last week's whole kerfuffle around things like bilingual road signs that the National Party were against was stupid and petty. And I don't know whether or not we as a country are going to be able to handle another 3 to 4 months of this without people becoming disinterested in the election campaign itself, because that's the risk that is being run by having this kind of pettiness be what we focus our conversations around when it comes to politics. In theory, an election should be an argument for policies and platforms and perspectives and values. That's what we should be going for. Instead, what we're getting is sniping about little things that don't make a difference to majority of people because they're not big, scary, important things. And don't get me wrong, there are certainly people out there who are passionate about Michael Wood's shares or Simeon Brown's views on bilingual road signs. But it's really hard to sit down and take an election campaign seriously when that's what the focus is. To be fair, it's actually one of the reasons that I wanted to do the podcast that I've just launched today, where I talk to 6 people from around the country regularly and say, what's happening with the campaign your end? Tell me what you're seeing, what you're experiencing, and how does it make you feel? I feel like a psychologist. How does that make you feel? It's available now to download wherever you get your podcasts from, so feel free to have a look for something called the Public Gallery. It doesn't change the fact, though, that this pettiness needs to stop for people to start getting engaged with voting. One of the things that came through really clearly with the people I spoke to in that podcast was that they're really disengaged with this year's elections. It doesn't feel as important or as necessary as it has in the past. And that's a real concern, because if we want people to get out there and vote, they have to be engaged. This kind of sniping at each other, that's not engaging anybody.